Hello, everyone, and welcome to Titan Uncensored with two of my favorite people, Kevin Nasta and Billy Fetzke. Hello, gentlemen.
How
you doing over there?
Not everybody at first, at once. How you doing, Eddie? How are you?
How you doing over there, Kevin?
Doing good.
Living your best life?
Sure.
That's what you want to call it? So I want to talk about how successful the Goddesses D365 Cup went. Before we get into Courage and Power and the free-for-all, I would just love to talk to you about how successful the D365 Cup went. How did you feel about it?
Look, success is measured in so many different ways. In the wrestling industry, success is people that come to the show, money made, is everybody happy, will people return, is there interest going forward, does the interest behind the scenes, was that there to keep it going forward? And look, all said and done across the board, and you saw it yourself, everybody was happy. I mean, you're talking 10, 20 days later, talent and staff were still posting pictures, still posting their positive feedback about the show, fans interacting about what a great time they had. There was very little negative about the show from any of the fan base or the talent. Would we have liked to draw a bigger crowd? Of course. Who doesn't? It doesn't matter if you have 1,000 people, you would still want to draw more of a crowd. If there's a chance to, of course you want to. I'd be lying. You said that, I was, I was happy with the turn. Look, it's the first show. We had over 100 people, 110 paid in attendance, with the talents plus ones and staffs plus ones. There was about 133 people there. You know what? I know people who run shows that I can count all their shows and add them together. It doesn't equal that. So,
Correct.
You know what? I don't care. Whatever. People got opinions about how our show went. It's an opinion. It's words. It doesn't mean anything to me, because push comes to shove. If you're not part of Titan, you're not part of Goddesses, then your opinion really doesn't matter. And, as long as the talent was happy, we had 18 women on the show. I didn't hear nothing. Nobody came to me and complained about anything. I didn't see anybody complaining online about anything. If we had some kind of fan issues, we took care of it. If fan had issues with a vendor, we took care of it. I mean, all just nice, simple, no drama-free zone, hashtag DFZ, drama-free zone. Billy said it best when I talked to him. He was like, bro, I got to sit there and watch the show and not have to worry about a damn thing, and it felt great.
Right. Yeah, how did you feel about it, Billy?
Just that. I was able to actually sit there and watch the show and watch what Kevin had put together and his team put together. And I got to enjoy, walking over the commentary and actually listen to what they were saying and, watching everything that Kevin spoke to me about and telling me, hey, we're going to go there, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and watch it come to life. It was really cool, different, odd for me, because I'm always running around with a chicken without a head, right? So
right.
It was definitely odd for me, and I know me and Kevin were joking around with this, because as soon as the bell rang, Kevin's like, oh, well, gotta go. Get your ass back over here. But
hey, my job was done.
yeah. Get back over here. But it was great. It was awesome. I was super proud. I watched the fans engaged, and there were some really loud fans that were there, and there was some that were, they were actually just watch the women professional wrestling. And they enjoyed it. I mean, the feedback that I got, the messages that I got,
Right.
were awesome. And it definitely motivates us to continue forward. As you've seen released, the Wrath of the Goddesses. I mean, if you want to talk about, you know, the second show to that relaunch, I mean, come on. Um, that's right before the Rise of the Titans. So we expect big things. I mean, Kevin's got more ideas, more creativity ideas. You know, I mean, it's the producer of Goddesses, and um, you know, we're super excited to see where it goes and how it goes, and you know, stemming off of the positivity from everybody on that team and everybody on that roster. I mean, there is no limits. There really isn't, and you know, let's see Goddesses, you know, see where we go this year, next year, the years beyond.
Absolutely. And speaking of Goddesses and the Goddesses show and the upcoming Goddesses show, Wrath of the Goddesses, we have at the free for all on Saturday, we have Gabby Ortiz as the representative for the Goddesses of War. She's going to be there to check out talent, check out the female talent, check out what they got. Are they able to be a part of Goddesses? Right? So, Kevin, how did we get Gabby Ortiz?
Well, Gabby is an original goddess. I mean, she was on the first shows. I was introduced to her, you know, way back when, you know, a lot of people don't know that all those other goddesses shows that we did, like right before COVID and during COVID and coming out of it and stuff like that, I was booking those shows too, but I was kind of like quiet about it. You know, I would post things to Charlie and to Billy, and I'd say, hey, you know, would you like this talent? This is what they're looking for, and we'd go back and forth. They'd build the matches, and I would just provide them with the ability to connect to more talent. Um, Through my company, I deal with a lot of female talent, and so it was easier for them to, instead of reaching out to the same people that work every show in all of New Jersey. Monster Mac made mention to this earlier, that there's like at any given weekend, there's like 15, 20 wrestling shows going on.
Correct.
And every one of those shows uses at least one women's match.
Correct.
So if you have a pool of 30 go-to women in the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania market, and you got 15 shows going on, there's your 30 women. So it's the same. They just, you know, rotate from one company to another. And I was like, we need to do something different. You know, we can't just be doing the same old, same old. It's not fair to the brand. It's not fair to the fans. And it's not fair to the ladies either, because, you know, how many times they want to wrestle each other? I mean, literally wrestling the same match over and over and over again.
Correct.
So it's, like, how many times you want to do it? I mean, it's just, so that's why it was a relaunch. It wasn't a relaunch because it was new.
Right.
Goddesses never did before. It was a relaunch because the concept was going to be different. And of course, time elapsed between the last show,
Correct.
everything reopened. And Billy and Charlie and Anthony had to sit back, kind of go over things and say, you know, what do we want to go for here? So as my obnoxious self that I am, I didn't give them a chance to breathe. I was like, oh, no, stop thinking. This is what we're going to do. And they were like, oh, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. They're like, all right, we'll let you do it. I was like, whoa, what do you mean me? I'm like, I'm ideas. And they're like, no, you can do it. So I was like, oh, you know, I was taken back, but taken back in a good way. You know, I was, I just, you know, it hit me in the, you know, here that someone put their trust in me with their company to do the right thing by them. And, you know, I will continue to do the right thing by them. You know, I still go to Billy and ask his opinion on, you know, certain talent or certain matches or certain combos of talent together. There's some talent out there that's kind of local-ish that I don't know too much about because I've never worked with them before. And, you know, not everybody has YouTube presence. So, you know, or they work for a company that doesn't. Oh, you got to deal with that.
Right.
So, you know, we pick each other's brains, and the second show now coming out, Wrath of the Goddesses. Again, you know, people who know me, I have an associate's degree in Greek mythological studies. and
Right.
I'm very big on mythology. Doesn't matter if it's Greek, Roman, Norse, whatever it is, Viking. Um, I'm even going to Greece at the end of the year, so it's like kind of like going to my roots to
Right.
go learn some more stuff. I might come back with a show name. You never know.
You never know.
Oh, that's exciting.
That is exciting. So we have a comment here. It says, I absolutely love that the Goddesses champion was talking about the show this weekend, rooting for Becca. Class act, right? So when I was there on the 25th of February for the Goddesses of War relaunch, I saw nothing but positives. Like you said, drama-free zone, right? So I saw nothing but positives coming from other talents trying to boost up each other, trying to hype up each other, trying to give everyone confidence, And to me, that's a true goddess. Because even though you're not winning the belt, I mean, at the end of the day, Marie Valdemina, pulled out on top. And just the fact that everyone was working together and being there for each other and giving feedback and everything, like, that's what a goddess is to me.
Look, everybody had reason to, let's say, shun Marie Valdemina. She's the newcomer. She's an outsider. They looked around the locker room and there's familiar faces everywhere. You had Valentina Vasquez. You had Vicious Vicky. You had Mother Endless. You had I remember the other Gabby, the tickle monster. I mean, you look across and you see all these familiar faces. JC Storm, Christina Marie. And then you got, here comes Shelby Waters. She comes in. Everybody's like, what the hell? And then here comes Marie Valdemina. Who the hell is that?
Right.
And, you got all these people coming in, and it's like, but it wasn't like that. It was like they knew what I was saying for 8 months to be true. And it was all about them. Show was not only about women in wrestling, but it was women in the wrestling industry.
Correct.
And that was that worked the show, outside the ring, inside the ring, the wrestlers in there, announcing, broadcasting, whatever it is, was all about front and center women's empowerment in the business of pro wrestling. And it doesn't exist right now. Mission Pro Wrestling runs intergender and men's matches now. Women of Wrestling in California, they have male broadcasters and they have males working behind the scenes. Capital Wrestling also has working behind the scenes and at broadcast. We were the only all women program, from the voice outside the ring to the voice in the back to the voice in the ring to the voices wrestling in the ring. It was an all female wrestling program. And I'm talking national anthem. I'm talking timekeeper. You name it. I mean, even the bouncer at the door taking tickets. Okay, and Billy knows who I'm talking about. All right.
Yeah.
Me too.
So
it was super.
Made it all about women, and that's what I said. I said, just showing up to a show is not supporting. Supporting is buying a ticket, buying a T-shirt, buying an autograph, buying a photo op. Okay, that's supporting. Anybody can say I support you and do nothing. Anybody can say I support you and show up to the show and not buy a single thing. And that's why we did the Fan Fest. And people got a little twisted with how they perceived what the Fan Fest was supposed to be. The Fan Fest wasn't a convention. It wasn't for people to bring all this outside talent in. If we wanted to do that, we would have done that, and we probably would have put another in the building. But why am I going to do that? It was about the women on the show, for them to stow gimmick, to put a little dime in their pocket, to get a little support from the fans, to connect with the fans, to connect with each other. That's what the Fan Fest was about. We easily could have brought in anybody we wanted, but why? That would have just took money out of their pocket. That's
correct.
If I bring in Lita, Lita's going to have a line for 2 hours. She's probably going to make a couple of $1,000, but that's a couple of $1,000 not being spent at other tables. And
Right.
that would be me being a hypocrite. So it wouldn't be about the women at the show. It would be about us stuffing money in our pocket. And it
Correct.
wasn't about them. So we wanted to make sure what I was preaching for 8 months was practice. And that was a safe environment, a safe atmosphere, them to work and not have to be bothered by creepiness, inappropriate behavior. It was all about them. They all had contributions to storylines and what they wanted to do and how they wanted to tell stories. And at the end of the day, you know, whether the fans were really loud or if they weren't, we had some that were, we had some that weren't. I scoped numerous times the crowd and didn't have people stuck in their faces in their phones. You didn't have people wandering around. You didn't have people, you know, with their ADD kicking in. They were focused and engaged on what was going on in the ring. Even the interactive trivia got a lot of great feedback from fans. They loved it, and it kept them in their seats for 20 minutes. You know, we had the unfortunate problem where you know, we didn't have our food vendor inside because of a family emergency. So it's like, all right, we got the venue to offer drinks, which was great. But you know what? We kept the interactive trivia, chance to win some prizes, have fun, had a blast doing it. It gave the fans, you know, a chance to enjoy themselves. 20 minutes went by. They didn't even realize it went by so quick. And boom, all of a sudden the show's coming back on.
Right.
And we accomplished everything that we set out to do. There was nothing we put it all out on the table. There was nothing that didn't get put on the table that needed to. When we left there, you know, nobody's going to be any more negative than me because, you know, it's my reputation. And,
right.
You know, and also I have 2 other guys that are relying on me to, you know, back up all the stuff that I'm telling them. So there was a lot of anxiety. There was a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. Billy, you know, he said it early. He was laughing. I mean, literally, the national anthem happened. I walked behind the timekeeper's table, and Angel rang the bell. The first music hit, and Billy looked at me and he was like, "Bro, breathe." The bell went off. We're here. It started.
Right.
That's when I was messing around with him. I was like, all right, see you later, bye. But, but at the end of the day, I mean, I want to speak to Billy. Billy can say what he wants to say. But at the end of the day, I felt that everything we wanted to do, everything that we said we were going to do, and everything that we wanted to happen, indeed happened.
And that's awesome.
There was one thing that we didn't expect that me and Kevin were on the floor dying about. This was Monsoon with Shelby. He had Shelby's music. Wait a minute. Kevin looked at me. I looked at Kevin. I said, oh.
Why is this music playing? It's on the street.
Change it.
You read the sentence after her name?
Charlie goes, well, you wrote it this way. Oh, what an epic moment. It was just the 3 of us looking at each other. Oh.
That was a
behind the scene thing.
That was a Ron Burgundy Anchorman situation. Go fuck.
So speaking of goddesses and how successful goddesses was, we have 2 goddesses actually going against each other under the women's territory champion this Saturday under the Funhouse Wrestling pre-match, which is going to be Gabby Gilbert and Valentina Velasquez.
Right, so this is so wild, right, for us, because it taps into Kevin's creativity. We spoke about this a couple of times. It really breaks into his creativity because it's, to us, it's throws us off, right? So these are Valentina Velasquez and Gabby Gilbert are Funhouse Women's Tag Team Champions.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going against each other for this territory title. So it, you know, could they remain a tag team? Are they going to hate each other after? It is like mind blowing to what Funhouse put together to sit there and go, all right, goddesses, you know, put your thinking caps on, and it's it's going to be awesome to see. I don't know. Kevin doesn't know who's over. We don't know who's over. Who will be champion, the territory champion. I guess they'll call it as they see it. But it's awesome to see, two tag team champions, which they are, going at it. And will it hurt the team, or will it obviously make them fonder? I don't know.
And to add something on top of that, will there be bad blood because of the comments that were made at the D365 Cup when they were both interviewed? Gabby and Valentino interviewed because they were in separate brackets, and they said, "What happens if you guys meet the final four?" And Gabby said she fully expected Valentino to lay down for her. Valentina came down with the title belt. Gabby did not.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Wow.
I have just added a little fuel to the fire, but hell, that's my job.
Yeah,
I mean,
wow.
usually. Usually. We also have another pre-show match. Joey Adams versus James Gray versus E-Money Millie, which James Gray currently holds the Tri-State Championship. So now they're going to be putting a three-way match at the pre-show to see if James Gray continues to retain his title or if someone else will get it.
I mean, if you're looking to see what the roster and what Funhouse brings to the table, this would be what Funhouse brings to the table. Three phenomenal wrestlers. E-Money Millie is working his way to put his name out there and to show who he really is. And I'm excited to see what he can bring to the Funhouse table. Right, Funhouse of Wrestling is under the Enterprise banner.
Right.
And, obviously he's one of the wheels that makes the all gas, no brakes here, the car run. So we're curious to see what he does and what he does bring to that table. But yeah, I mean, that match is going to be phenomenal. I think, James Gray's a great wrestler. Joey Adams is a phenomenal wrestler. He's been around a long time. I believe he's a vet in that ring. So it's definitely something you don't want to miss.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we have one more. Funhouse actually gave us one more pre-show match, the American Luchador Championship between Smiley, who is the current champion, and Eric Corvus.
Oh, see.
Oh, you cut out.
No. Smiley and Eric Corvus for that American Lucha titles on the main show, right?
Oh.
That is on the main show. That match. Yes. So you're talking.
That's right.
You're talking Eric Corvus. Yeah. So Funhouse definitely put that on the main show. Yeah, Eric Corvus versus Smiley, two professionals in that ring. So again, I don't know who's over on that match. They'll call it as they see it. But
you never know what's gonna happen. You don't know if Smiley can retain the title or if he's going to lose it. You really never know. I know that Eric Corvus always brings his shit. So let's see what happens.
Absolutely.
Eric Corvus had an interesting career. I mean, when I started all this back in 2012, Eric Corvus was one of the first guys in a group of guys that I watched wrestling. When he was wrestling for UWA Elite, JCW, and a couple of other companies. And he was doing the steampunk gimmick back then, and he was a very interesting character. And then walked away from wrestling for a while. And he just did some broadcasting. And then when he came back, I was actually shocked. I was like, wow. I'm like, he walked away for a couple of years. And I know what they say with wrestling: you leave, you don't ever actually leave. But I will tell you, Billy, when I do leave, fuck you, I'm leaving. But anyway. I'm happy to see Eric Corvus back. He's in great shape. He's in great mental shape, and Smiley is another guy. That I remember watching from the JC days too, and he's a fun, very exciting guy to watch. And you never know, he's going to do some crazy shit. Just pulls It's kind of like a Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston mix. You're just gonna pull something.
I'm gonna respond to Kevin real quick. Get your ass back over here.
When I'm gone, I'm gonna be up living on a lake somewhere with no internet, and everybody can go scratch and kick rock.
Yeah, but I'll have the address and the phone number, so it doesn't matter.
Same.
So you ain't going nowhere anyway. If I gotta put a cardboard cutout, you're there.
COVID, cardboard cutout fans like COVID days.
Right.
Oh man.
Right.
Hey, you know what came up on my memories recently? I don't know if everybody remembers. It's something that never happened, but we were doing that gimmick for shits and giggles. So that all came up in my memories. Me and Charlie were laughing about it a little bit.
I did see that.
We also have on the main show the tag team match, which would be CMD first class.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was the Demon Saints Open Invitational. CMD and First Class, both phenomenal tag teams. I mean, they're making a lot of noise out here in independent wrestling. So I mean, they took that challenge. They were, we've got a lot of tag teams that responded and, hey, we want in, and these two were the first to step up, and we're going to give it to them. So it's I'm sure that'll be a massive match, and we're looking forward to that one.
Absolutely. And then we have Abraham Khan and Ben Castle. I like to call this the battle of friendship to me.
I don't think it's necessarily a friendship, Nettie. I think this is more personal than anything.
Yeah.
There's something different when you're looking at Ben Castle and when you're looking at his promos, even his postings and everything else. Is just something different when he speaks about Abraham Khan to anybody else.
Correct.
I think we're going to see a different level of Ben Castle. I think we're going to see that deadly sin, shine through. Which I know I've spoken to him several times with Abraham Khan. And he's ready to put down Ben Castle. So this will be an eye catcher. I don't know. I mean, you got Frankie Picard that's with Ben Castle. I'm hoping that Abraham can be the one. And you also got to understand, Ben Castle has never been pinned.
Correct.
So there's a lot of power and force behind Ben Castle. So, I mean, I'm hoping Abraham Khan can be the one. But to be honest with you, Ben Castle is just, not a deadly sin for no reason.
That's true. Very, very true. And then you have Frankie Picard with blocks, who Frankie now joined Ben Castle. Who would have ever thought that with all the history between the two of them?
We're still pretty PO'd about it. SP's, the general manager here at Titan, and I know he's trying to handle everything politically, so things don't get out of hand. Frankie Picard wants the real blocks, and blocks as determined as he is, he's going to give him the real blocks. So I mean, I think Frankie Picard's pushing the button. You can definitely see he struck a nerve.
Yeah.
So we're going to see where that goes. I mean, this will be one hell of a match. You obviously know Frankie Picard, one slip, he's going to put you out.
Absolutely.
And, blocks, he's trained, but is he trained enough to be at that veteran status and be at that level of Frankie Picard? So we're going to see how that pans out.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, that's just the beginning. You still have the middleweight championship between Chris Cage, Ray Kalitri, who's the champion, and Ghost Shadow.
This match was talked about when myself and Steve Mack, we did our uncensored just before myself and Kevin. The um, that match is one match that the office here wants to see. It's one match the office is going to be looking at very closely. Ray Kalitri is the middleweight champion. He's the international superstar. I mean, he's a superstar everywhere he goes. Again, as always, expect big things from Ray Kalitri. That's a man that should be on TV, not
Absolutely.
a tight. But you got a newcomer of Go Shadow, which, again, from what I see and from what I heard, he's phenomenal. So, and then you have Chris Cage, who recently has become a Titan, has put himself here and really making a name for himself here, whom I personally like and I personally like watching. So there's a big dynamic in that match, and I'm really curious to see where this goes. But that's one match that this office is going to be watching.
Oh, absolutely. I'm very excited myself because I know that all of those guys researching and doing all of that, I see some of their matches, and I mean, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Ray Kalitri will always be the shining star, but let's see what happens, And then you have your lightweight title defense, which is Rocket. Then you have him going against Jacko, the greatest damn showman, and Daniel Alexander.
And Jay Akira.
And Jay Akira, that's correct. And Jay Akira.
So that is a 4-way elimination match for the lightweight Titan lightweight championship.
Right.
For phenomenal wrestlers. Phenomenal. Rocket has, all pun intended, has skyrocketed to the sky with limitless potential, and
correct.
I'm sure that's one you're gonna see on TV eventually. Jacko has made a name for himself here at Titan Championship Wrestling, has undoubtedly caught my eye. You're gonna see big things from Jacko. I see him as a singles competitor, not as a tag, and I think we broke free of that element. I think the superstardom that you're going to see out of Jacko long term, and the drive and the passion that he got, yeah, man, you're gonna see a lot.
I mean, they don't call him the greatest damn showman for nothing, right?
You're right, but you're a little biased there, pal.
Listen. Before I even knew the guy, I very much enjoyed who he was in the ring.
Yeah, well, again, he's a phenomenal person. I'm glad that he's returned back to Titan and totally changed himself. And again, I'm a Jacko fan, so that helps me sit there and rather than the eraser, put the pencil to the paper. So to me, that is very helpful. Jay Akira, another one.
Original Titan. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he goes back to the SWF days with me, where I would book him with several others in the SWF days. So Jay Akira was there for our first couple of shows. He had to move away, and he's been now coming back, and this is phenomenal. I'm super excited about it. So you're going to see big things from him.
Daniel Alexander too.
Daniel Alexander.
He's been here since
that's
the first free-for-all, right?
Another level. Daniel Alexander, yes, is a free-for-all original. Daniel Alexander, outside of school training and all that, came to the free-for-all, and look at him now from the very first free-for-all. So it is. That's my bro. He calls me the OG, and I love him to death. That's my bro. I am super supportive of Daniel Alexander. I love that guy. He's phenomenal. But as much as I love a person, you got to work hard for it, and he does. And he, the caliber of professionalism he brings to Titan, and for the kids, for the youth, for and I love that we are one gimmick to
Yes.
that they have, and you know, we're not a wrestling show, we're a wrestling vibe, and you know, he definitely definitely makes that happen, and you know, we throw major kudos out there for that, and
Listen, Kevin, he has a female puppet. She might be the next Goddesses champion.
you never know.
You really don't. You really never know.
No, Kevin's not laughing at that one. So the you know what? You know we forgot to touch on too. Yeah, we'll finish the rest of the card. But I know we brought up Marie Valdemita before, and I do want to say I'm very proud of her. I'm very proud that she's the Goddesses of War champion.
Absolutely.
I believe that she's going to take this Goddess of War champion, and
To
you know
a whole
she's going to
nother
defend
level.
it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you know what? I'm happy, and to me that's great. Next match. Ow.
Next match, we have the American Championship match, which is the Mobfi TV belt that they sponsored. Now, we call it the All-American Championship, you know, belt. But as Blaze Haram calls it, it's the All-Arabian Championship belt. And Mr. Blaze Haram is going to be going against Daisy Kill. And Daisy Kill has been seen on NWA as well.
I hope Daisy Kill whoops his butt. He has caused me, Blaze Haram has caused me so many problems with my sponsors that, let me tell you, it's been weeks of just fixing and fixing and fixing.
Right.
So it's, you know, the disrespect that he's shown Mob Fight TV when Mob Fight TV handed him that title. You know, you got to remember something on Mob Fight TV, there was one former wrestler, Mikey Pacifica.
Correct.
So I've heard many a times from him that he's really unhappy.
I mean, we're just going to have to see how
Yes,
that
sir.
plays out, I guess.
Absolutely.
And while Billy's doing that, I would like to bring up again, Becca's open challenge. Goddesses, she was on the Goddesses show. She competed in the Damage 365 Cup. She was there. She kicked ass. She did everything that she could. And like we said before, the definition of courage and power, Becca Wiley. She's a goddess. She has an open challenge on that show. I wonder who's going to step up.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kevin. Take this one.
This is gonna be a test, you know, because and not that Becca has
4058.
a whole career. I mean, she has been. I mean, she's a very young career, and she's been tested. With every door that she's opened, there's been a test put there. You know, first of all, you know, her wrestling with cerebral palsy is a test to her.
WF.
Her wrestling, anybody, people doubting her or people being afraid to wrestle her because is a challenge to her. So when she gets into the ring and you know, actually wrestles with people, that's another challenge. So everything she does in this industry, every door she opens is a challenge. So where I feel this is going to be nothing new for her, this open challenge. At the same time, it's going to probably be her greatest challenge.
Correct.
She doesn't have time to prepare for it. She doesn't know who this person is. We don't even know who this person is.
Billy mentioned earlier. Billy actually mentioned earlier that she's going to choose the best of the best from the free for all and take them on.
I mean, it might not even be up to us. Might be somebody that comes forward, you know, that stands out above everything else. They don't even give us that choice because they stood out so much. So we're gonna have no choice but it's gonna give Becca no time to mentally and physically prepare and get her A game ready. So, you know, like I said, where she's she's taken every challenge head on and defeated them. This is going to be something else for her to have to deal with. And I think at the end of the day, you know, just, you know, my time sitting down with Becca and talking to her and going over the matches and just, you know, seeing her excitement in her eyes every time we talk about wrestling or when I brought in certain wrestlers, like when I brought in Thunder Rosa for big events. she came to big event and she was like a kid in a candy shop. I mean, she
Right.
just couldn't wait to pick her brain and I said, hey, talk, do whatever you don't worry about the wine. You do you, and no, it's
William
just
Fetzke.
it shows how does she feel one day and everybody can at the end of the day, I think Becca will be the one standing, having her hand raised for her first ever singles victory.
And like we said, you never know. You really never know. And, I just want to point out the courage and power for Becca Wiley. She is very passionate about her cerebral palsy journey. And I think this would be very good for her to be able to showcase herself and take control of her body and show everyone that she's going to kick ass.
It's about awareness. She's not only proving to herself that she can do this, but she's proving to other people that just because you have cerebral palsy doesn't mean that you can't do the things that you love, and that
Right.
includes pro wrestling. And she's going to prove to everybody, the world. I mean, she's the first and only. So she's going to prove to the world that it doesn't matter. She's still going to do this, and she's going to enjoy doing this and do this successfully at a level that most people were not going to expect. And how can you not get behind Becca? And some of the crap that we see on the internet, which is just heartbreaking and absolutely just makes me scratch my head that what is wrong with some of these people? Like, how do you leave your house being such a piece of crap, and think the way you do? Like, Becca Wiley is one of the people there are. She would literally, if you said, "Hey, Becca, I need you to break your arm because it benefits me," she'd break it. She's just that type of person. So to see her do this and be successful doing it, how can you not be happy? I just don't understand. You don't even have to like wrestling to love her story.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And Billy will tell you time and time again, he's her number one fan, but I fight him for it every time, but I believe him. I'll give it to him. Right,
Oh, I
Billy?
am. Yep.
Yep. There it is. There it is. And then we have our, excuse me, heavyweight championship title match between Anthony Gangone and PJ Savage. I mean, that just speaks for itself.
I mean, come on.
I know.
You want to
There's
talk
really
about a
nothing to say.
powerhouse match? I mean, Anthony Gangone, the Titan heavyweight champion and Funhouse champion. I mean, he has successfully, undoubtedly, has been the face of this company over the past since he won that title. And let me tell you, you're talking about the man who is the opening match, number one match of Titan Championship Wrestling when we debuted. This is Titan personified here, and he's going up against a powerhouse and legit the Savage, PJ Savage. If you think that this match isn't going to be hard hitting, it is going to be super hard hitting. There's been a lot of challenges and Anthony Gangone's way here at Titan Championship Wrestling. I mean, hell, he went through the whole Mount Olympus Rumble, right? So it was, there's been a lot of challenges here, but man, he's got to face PJ Savage, and PJ Savage is hungry. PJ Savage is definitely up and coming. So, I think this is not only a for the fans and for everybody that's going to be there at Titan Championship Wrestling, but I think there's going to be a locker room spill out too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm very, I don't know about you guys, but I'm very humbled to be a part of such an enterprise and to be given the opportunity and work and allowing me to work for the opportunity. I really do appreciate it. And I'm sure all these other men and women do as well, for sure. I mean, I'll say it time and time again. You know what I mean? Like, we have the best locker room. I mean, granted, and this is where I'm going with this. Roxas and Flash Carter, right? I'm bringing up the locker room because I love our guys, no matter who they are. And I know that you and Roxas have had some problems, Billy. But, you know, Roxas and Flash Carter beat Johnny Moran at the last show. And now Roxas is going to take over Flash Carter.
Yes. I still stand my ground. I stand firm on the fact that Aaron Roxas should not be here. I don't want to hear. However, again, I'm a commitment guy. I've always been a commitment guy, and he won't be here after June. So for me, it's enlightening to know that's where we're going. Right. That in June, you'll no longer see him here, and that's great. Johnny Moran, as you can see, Johnny Moran does not have a match on Courage and Power, because of his antics and the things that he has done, including even to me.
I'm surprised Kevin didn't come out there and beat his butt.
There's a lot of people that wanted to, and Johnny Moran and Aaron Roxas had to leave that locker room rather fast.
Usually.
Johnny Moran, again, is a huge disappointment in my eyes of why he would be listening to Aaron Roxas rather than the fans, the Titan Nation, who has supported and had Johnny's back through everything, but yet has the audacity to say I lost my faith in him, which he doesn't. Clearly, he doesn't understand. Obviously, on this path, you won't see much more of Johnny Moran either. So there is there's a lot that's got to be handled in regards to them too. But the most exciting news is that Aaron Roxas won't be here much longer.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I wanted to bring up that match last because I wanted to see what you felt about the whole situation, because you were very actively involved, and I mean, they came after you as well. So
hey, listen, no doubt that Aaron Roxas is a great wrestler. You got to put credit where credit is due. Same thing with Johnny Moran. But when you just don't click and you just don't work, and it's when you attack people just the way you do, that's on you. Obviously Aaron is very mind manipulative.
Correct.
Then you could see that direction, especially with Johnny Moran. It's not. You know what? It's not really where I want Titan to be. It's not really what I want around, people in my locker room. And, that's, and everybody agrees. I mean, look at SP, right? Here, SP, it was shockingly, and everybody found out the fact that Flash Carter is the son.
Correct.
And here we are. The general manager of Titan Championship Wrestling is going to go out there and help defend his son, where I come out to help, obviously, defend my GM, and ultimately I get attacked for it. It's rather than wrestling, it becomes personal. And Flash Carter definitely, he's going to go one-on-one with Aaron Roxas. I'm excited to see Flash Carter take Aaron Roxas and pin him 1, 2, 3, and you know what? That really gives me the motivation to turn around and sit them both out until June.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? There's always a lesson learned, I guess, maybe, hopefully.
Hey, listen, you know what? If you really look at this, the free for all is this Saturday.
Yep.
There's going to be wonderful wrestlers. Some that may shock us to beyond doubt. And hey, guess what? People from the free for all, there's going to be 2 spots that are opening up because I'm getting rid of those 2 in June. So you know what? Steve Mack will let me know who he wants, and obviously that there's an opening in Titan. So I mean, we're looking forward to that, and there's always opportunity, and there you go.
I mean, just like Frankie says here, you got to trust the process.
Frankie's process is a little bit different. This deadly sin thing is definitely excited to see, but it's also out of hand. I have a lot of respect for Frankie, which I don't understand why Frankie would. I brought Frankie in as a special guest referee, right? Well, SP did. Brought him in as a special guest referee, and the turn and the side with Ben Castle and the side for that change. It's interesting where the deadly sin thing is going. However, again, following the footsteps of
Ben Castle.
anything sin, right, and anything following the footsteps of Ben Castle is not going to give you guys any success. So again, my eyes are on them as well, and again, going back to Frankie, I mean, it's one mistake he's going to capitalize. So if you're going to go in that ring with Frankie, you better know what you're doing. So it's yeah. So it's interesting to see what is happening here at Titan Championship Wrestling.
I do want to say two more things before we, close this off. First thing, I would like to wish Rick Recon, our previous middleweight champion, best of luck in the Super 8 tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, you saw my personal post, Rick. Good luck. We hope you kill it. I mean, they're all fine competitors. I mean, you're going to be in Super 8. You're top notch, right?
Absolutely.
But there is only one Rick Recon. And
there is.
Titan, he's been here over 3 years. Rick has went through the war with us, and we're going to pull back the curtain a little bit here on this one. He's went through a lot of wars with us, and always stood by Titan's side. It's awesome to see when he first came in and debuted here at Titan to what he is now. And I've been saying this for a very long time. It's one that should be on TV, not here at Titan. Absolutely. And I've said that publicly many a times. And you're going to see big things from Rick. I know it. I'll go through the moon and back to help out and help elevate that and push that. And absolutely. I think he's in my beliefs, I believe he is going to take that Super 8. I think he is going to win it. And
I hope so.
All the best to him. We're going to miss him that night.
We are going to miss him on the 25th, and we're also going to miss Riley Shepard. Yes. I know she's taken a break a little bit. She has some personal issues that she has to take care of, but we do wish her the best of luck, and we do want her to know that we do miss her. We miss her very, very much. She always makes an impact. I know, myself included, I look up to Riley. I mean, and I've said this with her in the podcast, you know what I mean? When we did our podcast, I say this to her. She was a first responder as well. And being a first responder, I look up to her and I go to her for advice. And, we really do miss her. And I know Becca looks up to her. So we do wish her well. And we do miss her very, very much.
We do. Kevin introduced me to Riley. I did not know Riley prior to Goddesses when we started booking the Goddesses brand. And, it has been a honor. It has been an honor working side by side with Riley. Riley is definitely a Goddesses agent. Riley's also an agent for Chosen. So being that she has taken a break off, I assured Riley, I told Riley, yeah, your spots are here are saved, and you have a home here, you have a family here, and we hope everything turns out okay. My word is my bond. When I say you have a home here, you have a home here. Yep. And we wish nothing but the best. I've checked on her a couple of times on a personal, nothing wrestling related. Absolutely. And Riley, man, she's always in high spirits and always optimistic, and yep. We are with her, and we love her, and we just waiting patiently for her return.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, I would like to say, don't forget the free for all this Saturday, March 25th. $5. www.titan-championshipwrestling.com for tickets to the show at night. Courage and Power, Bayville First Aid Squad, 660 Atlantic City Boulevard in Bayville. Doors open at 6. We have few pre-show matches. Then we have the show. The bell time starts at 7. We are all very excited to see who Becca Wiley is going to go against, who she chooses. I'm just excited about the whole day.
Yeah, me too. Me too, but I want to address something real quick. People, this isn't just Saturday. This isn't just, everything happening Saturday. This is going to be beyond that. This is actually starting to happen Friday afternoon.
Yep.
And this is all going to be all the way through till obviously late Saturday, right? So once the show's finished, the breakdown, the cleanup, the putting everything away, day and a half worth of work, and that's what Titan is, right? So that's what the team is, and all the hard work and what we're all putting into it. I'm proud of everybody. I really am. I'm proud of the team that makes the dream happen, and believe me, this is the team that makes the dream happen. I'm proud of the brands. I'm proud of the enterprise. I keep my head high, my chest out, and I'm with you all. I talk to you all daily. So for me, it's the ones that keep me motivated and pushing and striving for better, striving for more, striving for better for the brands. And that's really, it's awesome to have that.
I mean, we're a family. This is what family does. Stick by our sides no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Really like I love him. I love him, but he's like a Debbie Downer.
I love it. Don't forget.
I want to wait. I want to say this before you wrap everything up.
Okay.
Billy's got a million things going on in his head, and I know if I don't say this, he's gonna be like, "Oh crap, I didn't say it." But there is so many things that are yet to be announced coming out with everything in Titan Enterprises, from Titan to Goddesses to everything. I mean, it's just some crazy shit that talk about at night. Even last night, we had a conversation about something that could be happening soon, and there's things that are set in concrete that are going to be announced soon. That's just going to be one of a kind, first time ever, crazy shit. We always talk about the Enterprise, and here I am. I'm a big Trekkie, a big Star Trek fan. Not to steal a word from my favorite Captain James Tiberius Kirk, to say that Titan Enterprise to boldly go where wrestling has not gone before.
Oh man, that's awesome.
100%.
Oh wow.
100%.
Absolutely, things are gonna happen, and people are gonna be reading what's gonna be coming out, and they're gonna be mind blown. And
yeah,
mind blown. The fans are gonna be mind blown. The talent's gonna be mind blown, and the people that us are gonna be mind blown.
I mean, I don't expect anything less. Anyway,
I got nothing to
if you want
say.
to get mind blown, continue to follow Titan Championship Wrestling, Goddesses of War, Chosen Pro Wrestling, all of the Titan Enterprise on all of the social media. We have Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, everything. You have a social media, we have it. I mean,
don't follow me. Don't follow me on social media. I am an asshole. So follow all the rest.
Follow Kevin. It's actually quite comical. You should just follow Kevin because he makes a lot of sense. Billy as well. Billy likes to go. Just follow them because
don't even start. If you say I like the 3 o'clock in the morning phone calls, honey, I'm the one that gives them. You understand? So for me, it doesn't matter. Call me. I know. I'm up anyway.
I was actually going to say 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The time that you sleep. But
all right, so now I'll shut the phone off. I'll put the call forward into Kevin's.
Oh, great, thank you.
And then you know what's gonna happen? Kevin's gonna be like, "This is all your fault. Here you go, Nettie."
Going to me, I'm at the diner. What do you want?
I'll be the only phone number that's called forwarded to 5 people.
Send him to Charlie.
Send him to Charlie.
Hello? How can I help you?
Wrong song. Sorry.
Oh man, Charlie. How about
Charlie? We love
with
you.
how about Kevin's in the ring? He's got the mic and he's throwing the mic, and he's looking at Charlie. Charlie's looking at me, talking to me. Kevin's music's still going.
And then when he finally shut the music off, but now granted, my intro music is Orion by Metallica, and it's an 8.5-minute song. So we got like 5 minutes into the song before Charlie picked his head up and went, "Oh shit." And then he turned it off. And then I was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, our music guy, Charlie."
Oh yeah.
Everyone, round of applause for Charlie. Round of applause for Charlie.
Oh my God, I love him. Nah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Round of applause for Tony.
Follow us, social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. If you have it, I have no idea. But yeah, just Goddesses focuses on content try to at least every day putting something out there. That's how dedicated the talent is to the Goddesses roster, that they're supplying us with some content every day to put out there. Visit it today. Visit Time, visit Uncensored.
Thank you.
You want to harass me and Nettie? That's fine. Nettie's up late at night saving lives, and I am up late at night annoying lives.
I'm up all night, and I see Kevin post something, and Billy does the same thing. He can't even deny it. Someone posts something up, they're awake. Let's message them, and then I say to Kevin, "What are you still doing up? What are you still doing up?" I'm actually going to bed, Nettie, or I got up to pee, Nettie. Can you not? We're not having these 3-hour conversations tonight, Nettie. It is true. It's very true. With that being said, we will see you all March 25th, this Saturday, 6 days away. Wait, there we go. 6 days away. And we will see you all at the show, Bayville EMS, Courage and Power. Thank you for joining us tonight, gentlemen. We really do appreciate your time. I know that Billy's Titan Mobile office never stops, so we're glad that he can make some time for us sometimes. And we really do love you guys, and we will see you all, Courage and Power, March 25th. Have a good night.
All right, have a good night. Thank you.